Hello, my name is Tim Rabolt. I'm the manager for Collegiate Recovery Program and Outreach here at Marquette University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We got our Fairla bike probably in fall 2024, and we mostly use it for program outreach and advertising and to connect with students here on campus. I'd say the main problem we were trying to solve is how to connect with students in a meaningful and sustainable way when they are inundated with a lot of messaging and other programs on campus who are also, tabling, putting up flyers, making posts on social media, sending out newsletters, a lot of the standard sort of marketing outreach practices. We saw some other campuses have some success with this idea of a coffee bike and handing out simply cups of, free hot coffee off something smaller. So we thought about what would it look like if we could scale that out and have something really loud and kind of in your face on campus that students also associate with being cool or trendy or have the aesthetic look that would appeal to them. So it's worked out really well. The work we're doing is a pretty niche group. When we talk about recovery, it's for students who are in recovery from drug and alcohol use primarily. So coffee is a pretty big. Um, it's just really synonymous with that population, and it also gives us an opportunity to connect with college students by handing out this coffee, the cold brew on campus, in the fall and spring semester. At least for us, compared to some other uses of a coffee bike, the alternative, maybe the cheaper alternative, is just tabling, and giving out free items or information, having those conversations. We're not going to get a line of people at a tabling event, but we've taken out the bike a handful of times. We routinely get a line of 40 students, and then it becomes talked about. We got articles written about it, and it's really popular on social media. Like, students will follow our account just to see when the bike's going to come out again. So it's really helped us as a new program on campus kind of penetrate the culture and start to weave what we're doing into the fabric of the university by having this really strong physical presence in the form of um, our coffee bike. So, like I mentioned, we really just use it primarily as an outreach tool. It really complements some of the other stuff we're doing, but really enhances and optimizes the way in which we're trying to have a strong presence on campus that students view pretty favorably. We have a lot more student engagement, student buy-in. It's kind of talked about as a piece on campus, maybe not a tradition yet since it's so new, but something that students get excited about. I mean, I just remember a couple times where, like a student would come up and, get a cup of coffee and then get on her phone and call her roommate and in this excited tone be like, the bike is back. Like things like that go a long way because we, yes, are giving out free coffee, but at the same time, we have all of our information there and are available as a resource to students. And it's just so different, when we're in an urban setting, so students are walking down different um, blocks of campus, and when you come across something like this, it just looks very, very different and kind of stands out and gets people talking, gets people lining up and asking questions and wondering who's putting it on, what's what's available, what kind of message are they trying to get across, and then having good coffee and a good experience then has that kind of favorable association that they form. We had like one of the athletic teams, like a coach stopped by, got a cup of coffee, started reading everything we do, took some information, said he was going to share it with the whole lacrosse team. I think it was. So things like that go a long way because if I just cold emailed that coach, maybe you would have gotten the word out, but the initiative was taken on his end because of the positive experience he had with the coffee bike. It's a really solid way for us to kind of connect with people over something simple, whether it's the coffee or whatever else we're serving, giving out for free that day. That then leads to this relationship building, even at a surface level, and folks forming those positive associations. Where then, if they do have a friend that's struggling, or them themselves might be interested, there's a little bit of that ice already broken. Yeah, in fact, I already just last Friday or so recommended Fairla to another university as the coffee bikes become more popular. I think in terms of advice, maybe start with one of the carts instead of the biggest scale model. It's a lot to maneuver around and figure out storage wise, maintenance wise, and everything. But it's, again, uh, no regrets. It's been so impactful and really helpful, and can't say enough about the customer service and help that Stephen and everyone at Furla has provided us along our coffee bike journey.